Right then, this is a quick walk around video on a bit of a windy day, I'm afraid. This is for a Honda CR-V 2.2 EX manual. It's a 64 plate with 76,000 miles on the clock. Finished in white, which always looks really good on these top spec ones. The privacy glass and the black roof, it all just kind of breaks it up. It looks really nice. The car's in really lovely condition. Front of the car, lights and lenses clear and intact. There's no cracks or condensation there. Bonnet very clean on the car, hardly any stonechips of any note. Near side very smooth in the panel work. Can't see any obvious indentations at all. I mean, the car's 10 years old, it is very clean, this one. Then around the back, bumper corner very clean. Around the back of the car, again, all very nice and clean and tidy. Then carrying on round, come to the off side of the car, driver's side, then very smooth down the panel work. Nothing obvious that stands out there. There's going to be the odd minor mark, but in all honesty, very clean car, that one. Let's come into the boot area. Absolutely huge boot on the car. It's been kept in very good condition. Let's come into the back, and this is the business end of a CR-V, because this is where the kids sit, generally speaking, and they can be normally very heavily used. Yet leatherwork's been kept really nicely for this age. Coming on the passenger side, again, very clean. Some of the footwell areas. Passenger seat again in super condition. Finally come to the driver's door card, which again is very clean indeed. Footwell areas and driver's seat, remarkably good for the age of the car. So inside the car now, engine's running as always, so the dash is illuminated. The dash is in fantastic condition as well. Sat nav, as you can see, working exactly as it should there. Pop the car into reverse, reverse parking camera working in conjunction with the front and rear parking sensors. Carrying on down, it's been kept very nicely. And then on the dash binnacle, hope you can see, 76,757 miles. And there are no warning lights on whilst the engine's running. Finally, just to show you, owner's manual pack and lock and wheel nut key, all here and present with the car. Right then, this is a quick road test video, and this is for a Honda CR-V 2.2 EX diesel. Car's registered RF64BTU, and with a mileage of 76,758 recorded. The reason we do all of our videos, and as I always say, especially this road test section, it's just to ensure that if anyone's online looking at any of the cars we're selling, they get to see that very car actually in operation. We've always felt it important, mostly because, you know, like many people, we've been to see cars which have looked perfectly good in photographs or description, but only to get there and find out it's got an obvious fault that shows up when you drive the car, and that can be, you know, hugely frustrating. Also on these very quiet country roads, it's a beautiful part of Gloucestershire. This actually forms part of the road test route we take our customers on, and the hope is, of course, it'll be representative of what you'd feel yourself should you go on a drive in the car. So coming to the engine first, push button start, starts instantly and settles to a smooth, even idle. There are no warning lights on the dashboard at all relating to the engine or any other part of the car for that matter. Pardon me. These are lovely engines, really lovely engines. My favourite of Honda's diesels. It's smooth, it's quiet, it's powerful, it's economical, and with good regular servicing, very reliable and long lasting. And they have a timing chain, so no cam belts to worry about either. The other thing with the engine, which is it has almost like a petrol-like quality in some ways. You know, it's very smooth, but also, unlike so many diesels, you can lull you into thinking that, you know, they're more powerful than they are. They have short bursts they've got a very narrow power band, so the turbo comes off and then fades away rather quickly. This will pull from just over 1,000 RPM unflustered, but unlike others, where you put your foot down, it just keeps going, and with such a sweet, whisper quiet engine note. It's a brilliant engine. Engine then feeds through into the clutch and gearbox. Clutch on the car bites well, exactly where it's meant to be. I'm going to sneeze, I can feel it. Pardon me, crikey, that crept up me. Probably burst your eardrums on the video. And then through to this fantastic 6-speed gearbox. Positioning the gear lever, perfection. Hand falls naturally to it. The angle, plane of change is just brilliantly done. It also has superb synchro mesh. All the gears engage with a really satisfying click as it goes in, or not click, it's just the engagement itself is just sort of very, very high quality. So I'm struggling for my words this morning for some reason. But it's also much shorter in throw than you get with most of its competitors, which normally have sort of long-winded, vague gear changes. But this is brilliant, and it feels as it would have done when it was new. There's zero wear in it. Then coming on to the steering and chassis, Honda were light years ahead of the competition when they started with the CR-V. They were the first to make a car like this drive like a car. Everything else just seemed to drive like a sort of a modified pickup truck. And the steering is, the first thing you notice, it's very nicely weighted. It doesn't feel overly light and sort of devoid of feel. This, you point to where it wanted to go, the car goes exactly there. It's quick, it's crisp, it never ever feels nervous on the move at all, and it works beautifully with the chassis. It also tracks dead straight. There's no vibrations at this speed, or any speed up to the legal limits actually. And suspension is very clever because, Lost, it would appear on lots of the motoring press who just say, oh, they're a bit boring to drive. Well, guess what? They're not meant to be exciting. It's not a sports car. They've got no sporting pretensions for the vehicle whatsoever. So why they'd sort of, accuse the car of sort of, not being sporty when it was never meant to be is beyond me. What it does absolutely brilliant, and it's as clever as a fine handling car that wants to be like that. So for a family, you pretty much just want a smooth riding, comfortable car, and that's what it gives you. Where it gets clever is when you start going through corners. You don't get lots of body motion, which you do in a lot of its competitors, which can feel initially very comfortable, but after a while they lollop about, and you get that horrible secondary motion, which can be particularly nauseating for rear seat passengers. But this is just brilliant. It's just very controlled. Push it through bends, and its corners flat and unflustered. Only if you drive it sort of 9-10 tenths, we get a fair degree of body roll, and it will feel what it is. It's just a family car. Brakes, by the way, on the car are excellent. They bite really well, so all in good order. And then coming inside, as I always say, videos unfortunately can't get across build quality, and these are beautifully put together cars. No squeaks, no rattles from inside the car. They feel robust. They're also, everyone that drives them, especially people who've come from much smaller cars who would think, oh, I'm not sure, it's quite a big car. After test drive, to a man, to a woman, everyone's come back and said how easy it was, how it didn't feel intimidating in any way. And that's mostly because you've got really good visibility all around. So you can actually see the bonnet of the car. You've got these huge wing mirrors, which help you with your manoeuvres, but also lane changing. Quite a low dash line in front as well. The dash itself, very highly equipped on these EX models, but it's a dash an interior that you've mastered within a couple of days of driving the car. It's all very straightforward and very easy. Sat nav, one of the easiest you'll ever navigate your way around, if you excuse the pun. Really nice to use, all working perfectly there. Down below that we've got the dual zone climate control system, so you can have different temperatures side to side if you really want to. It also blows out absolutely ice cold air on the car, out of the car, cracking me, out of the vents. All of the switch gear, as is always the case with a Honda, has a lovely high quality damped feel. It's just, you're driving something that's very well put together. And then your dash binnacle in front, simple legible dials, not over fussy, but just perfection really, because it's just, you just want to look at the information, get your eyes back on the road, and it does it very nicely. And then you've got this lovely leather bound steering wheel to finish it off. This is a four-wheel drive version of the CR-V, albeit there are no buttons to press. The car does it automatically. Honda worked out very, very quickly, right at the design of the original car, that most people drive as I am right now, where you don't need four-wheel drive on. So for 99% of the time, it's going to run in two-wheel drive, front-wheel drive, which is the most efficient way to pull any car along. If you were to pull away, let's say on a bit of mud, snow or ice, and the front wheel started to slip, before you could ever react, and via the traction control system, it automatically brings in the rear wheels to give you four-wheel drive, and it's smooth and seamless in the way it does it. I have a CR-V which we use to tow a horse box and a caravan, and we've never come close to getting stuck with it. The beauty of the system, of course, is by not being used the whole time, you save fuel, you put far less mechanical stress through the car, and you save on tyre wear as well. We've been selling these for nearly 3 decades now, and we've sold thousands of them, and I genuinely can't remember ever putting a spanner on the four-wheel drive system, so it is a very robust system indeed. As I said at the start of the video, the point of it's just to show the car operating. It drives really nicely.